friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels and short stories. With me tonight is Sam West, and we're going to be talking about the spell Conjure Barrage. This is a spell I want to like, but Sam has already bestowed his wisdom upon me, and you know what? I think even without his help, I could have seen that this spell was kind of crap. But the visual is cool though. Like there's two ways it can be cool. All right, if you got a thrown weapon like a hand axe or something, all right, it's cool. You run at your enemy, you throw that, and then a gazillion more hand axes fall out of the sky. Awesome,
super cool.
Different awesome. You look desperate because all you've got in your head is a piece of ammunition that you're throwing at them. Yeah. And they're laughing at you, but then 1,000 arrows fall out of the sky. That's different cool. However, all right, you can continue after however.
Okay. Conjure Barrage is a 3rd level conjuration spell. It has a 60-foot cone. That's big. Cones are large. That's a large cone. As you already stated, Bob, this is pretty cool looking. You throw a mat in the throwing dagger and everyone's like, what? And then it just flurries out into a cone of throwing daggers. Super cool. You fire your bow and it just cordon tons of arrows fly out. It does.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, so the ammunition would be fired. I'm looking at the spell description and I thought, let me double check.
It feels like it's missing something, doesn't it?
You throw a non-magical weapon or fire a piece. I didn't read the fire. All right, well, my second cool thing is moot now.
I mean, you can still throw the piece of ammunition. I would allow that. Sure, why not? That's the throwing it's a weapon. It's a piece of ammunition. It kills things. Here's my problem. It does 3d8 damage. This is a 3rd level spell. This is a 9th level ranger feature. That's a yikes from me, dog. I'd like to introduce you, Bob, to a 2nd level spell called Shatter. Shatter happens anywhere within 60 feet of you in a 10-foot radius. So while this is a larger area, Shatter happens at 3rd level, where this happens 6 levels later at a higher level spell slot. Both do 3d8 damage, and Shatter also breaks stuff. That's a 2nd level spell. Full casters have had since 3rd level. You have to wait 6 levels to get a higher level spell slot to do the same damage with less effects. Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of spells you can compare this to that make this look like crap.
I mean, the easy one's Fireball. 8d6 versus 3d8. What a joke. That's the same spell level as this. Yeah, Fireball is the same spell level as Conjure Barrage. This is the reason why you okay. I have to make a couple of caveats when I talk about spells this negatively. If you're the only person in your party with any access to magic, a 3d8 damage cone is leagues better as a utility option to pick up than it is if you have a full caster in the group. If you were with a fighter, a monk, and a rogue, and you were the ranger and pick up Conjure Barrage at 9th level, you now can suddenly deal with the kinds of problems that otherwise your party really couldn't. Prior to this, you were just attacking things, and you were limited to killing as many things as you could attack. And while that's great at killing one single large things or few large things, it really struggles against lots of little things. Conjure Barrage then gives you conceivably an option to deal with lots of little things as a ranger. And in the mindset of that design space, they're like, okay, rangers aren't supposed to be the best doing area of effect damage. This can be something they take to fall back on. What if they are by themselves surrounded by little cretins? Here's what I'll tell you. Shoot them instead. Find better spells than this. Use escape magic. Use things like Pass Without Trace or even like Long Strider. Give yourself better move speed and get out of there, right? That's what you should be doing instead of casting this, because this is such a traumatic damage drop compared to what other people can be doing way sooner than this. You never want to cast it. 3d8 damage is going to be less damage than 2 attacks will be against a single creature. If you're hitting less than 2 creatures with this, or less than 3 creatures with this, you shouldn't be using it. You should be making attack rolls. If you factor in things like Sharpshooter, if you factor in things like offhand weapon attacks, if you factor in other things that rangers want to be taking to empower their damage, this damage starts looking pitiful, and it costs you one of your precious few resources that you get way later than everyone else does. Why does it have to? They could have made this do 68 damage and it still wouldn't be as good as Fireball, and it still would be like, I mean, it's late, but better late than never, I guess. And this isn't the worst thing ever to cast. You could literally double its damage, and I still wouldn't be all that about it. That's how bad Conjure Barrage is. How did this get through playtesting? Would they just accept that Rangers had to suck more than Wizards by this much?
Yeah, well, that's the degree is what I will agree is not so great, but yeah, they should be, suckier Magic users than Wizards, but yeah, not to the point where their Magic is essentially useless by comparison.
Yep. I mean, I would say they're naturally worse by having less spell slots and having less access to it. You don't have to make them feel so useless in using that. You don't have to make it feel so like already they're going to feel worse at using Magic because they get less Magic. That's the point, right? Why does the actual Magic they have to be using so much more ineffective? If you only get 2 3rd level spell slots as a Ranger by 9th level, right, by 10th level, your Wizard's using much better things than that. Your Wizard's finding off 5th level spells that's going to showcase way higher magical stuff. They're going to have way more flexible stuff. They're going to have more 3rd level spells to throw around. They're going to be doing more magical things by default because they simply have more spell slots. They have more Magic by the mechanics of the game. Why do then the spells also have to be horrendous? It doesn't make sense.
It's a strictly damaging spell as well. If it's just not whatever you are, it's nothing to get excited about that late in the game. If they I'd say don't give them strictly damage spells if you're going to give them that. Instead, just more creative utility spells or something.
Yep, attach things that get hit by Conjure Barrage get prone or something. I don't know. Make it so that things hit by the Conjure Barrage have the next attack against things hit have advantage on attack rolls against them. Find a way to give some utility in this. Find a way to give some supporting elements so it feels like it belongs in the class. Because this doesn't. This is just a 60-foot 3d8 damage cone for 3rd level slot. That there's nothing else to say about it. You don't like it even says you're firing or making an attack in its text. Yet you don't physically do that. If you also made an attack roll as part of this action, it would be somewhat redeemable because then you can still have your builds kind of go less in it. You can have your magic weapons kind of work with it, but it doesn't.
The weapon you fire doesn't count?
No, that's not an attack roll. That is part of the thematics of the spell. You are not attacking anything with it. You throw it into the air and then the things shoot out.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, at least like with Hailstorms, some of the redeeming value in it is that you're making an attack roll of very low cost. You're getting area effect damage at a very cheap spell. That makes sense. It at least is attached to attacking. It's at least attached to the mechanics of the class. This isn't. This is just a cone. It does nothing else. This is abysmal.
Oh man, that goes to my less cool observation before. It's one thing if you're firing an arrow at them and then 1,000 more go along with it, but if you just fire it into the air, that doesn't even look cool anymore.
You get the arrows block out the sky, but can you really say they block out the sky when they're doing this little damage? You're getting like a few loose arrows. A hodgepodge cloud of 12 or 13 pieces of ammunition is a lot less than blotting out the sky. I don't know.
Yeah.
By the tier of play this is getting it's just embarrassing. There's 2nd level spells that do this better that people have had access to since 3rd level. Like garbage. And like Shatter still does other things. Like this doesn't even do other things. This just is damage. How can you get excited about this?
Well, I can't.
Poor Rangers, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got a Sam score for this one?
You should not be surprised. 1 out of 5. Don't take it. Play your Ranger better.
Good luck with that.
I believe in you. You can do it, viewers.
All right. That was, what was that? Conjure
Barrage.
All right. Thank you, Sam. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it. A gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description where you'll find my Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.